Okay.
Don't scream.
Okay, now I gotta remember
Hi,
how to
Nancy.
run a public meeting.
Mark, you're up.
Are we on?
No, I meant
Oh.
your
email
laptop's
is-
on the.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we ready? The recording on?
The recording, yep, everything is on.
Okay, we are back in regular session. Welcome, public, to our first open meeting, or not open meeting, but our first public meeting in person. Moving on to public comments, 5 minutes per person, non-agenda items. Policy of the Borough Council that all public comments on an issue shall be limited to 5 minutes per person. Comments may be made on any non-agenda item subject to non-agenda subject pertaining to borough issues. Comments pertaining to public hearings should be saved for that section of the agenda. No debating between residents. Comments should be addressed to the mayor and council at the public microphone. So does anybody from the public have anything to say on non-agenda items? And people can dial in. Has anybody dialed in?
Is anybody dialed in, Nancy?
There's one person, but
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Seeing or hearing none. Closing the public comment for non-agenda items. Moving on to old business. Rebranding presentation by Borough Council President Craig Liano and Councilwoman Dietrich.
Okay. So,
I don't mean to turn my back, but I gotta look at the screen.
Sure. Okay, so tonight we're bringing you an update on the branding initiative, and to take you back, we've had, I think, 2 other discussions on this. First, we had our initial view of logo options. We then engaged a local designer and brought back some initial conceptual designs, and we've worked with her further to come up with some that we'll share tonight. But just to recap, we want to be sure that we're representing the borough historically and in the current day. We want to continue to listen to how residents identify with PG, so this is something that we'll talk a little bit about more as we go through this. We have an emphasis in the designs we're showing you on the center of town, which is this building, but also a view from the park. So we want to incorporate some of the new work that's being done there, so we can pull it into the design. And as I mentioned with the resident piece, we are working on an online survey to engage the residents, not in voting on a final design, but giving input on these designs. Okay?
and
Mark, you can do it.
sure. And our designer, who's you all know, Meg Walters, actually came down here and she took a look at our park plans. And you're gonna, when you see the conceptual logos, you're gonna see a design element that's not existing currently, but will exist in perhaps in a matter of months. And as Amy said, the online survey is, we're not looking to collect a vote from the membership. We believe this decision is a council decision, but that the council's decision and thought process should include feedback from the residents. So we're looking to establish a very basic, easy to complete form, surveying the residents, seeing which logo they like, which ones perhaps they don't like, and maybe getting a little bit of a commentary from them. And we would look to post that form on both the borough website and Nextdoor for people to go in and complete. It shouldn't take but 10 minutes. Okay? Ready?
Yes. Okay, so this is going back to the prior designs Meg provided, again, kind of getting into the concepts that she shared with us, and so we were here at the last meeting, okay? Again, focus on our center of town piece, and you'll see when we show you the new designs that it's continued on here. We did get rid of the pastoral scene. We got rid of the swan specifically piece, but we're still, of course, keeping the pond portion. So, yeah.
So what we did is Amy and I met with Meg a couple of times, and we gave Meg feedback on her conceptuals, her first round. Either removing some, perhaps changing some colors. We refined it one more step, and now we're going to show you the list of what we consider as a committee to be finalists for council consideration.
So, so yes, these are ones that we think work well in terms of the layout, the graphic part of it. Peapack and Gladstone represented on each. So, so we are sharing these tonight with you, so you can also give us feedback. We've also looked at taglines. A peaceful, welcoming community is one that we began with. Meg added in an option of friends, family, community. Again, you know, community is just the word that we keep circling around in these logos, which are circular. So, anyway, so this is where we've landed. So we're interested in your feedback.
You know what's it's jumping out at me now for the first time. I'm not real excited about the established 1912 because I think our history just goes back so much further than that. We were incorporated in 1912, but we were settled 1700.
1700s, yeah. That's a
And,
good point, John.
you know, and to me, that's part of, you know, the historic nature of this town. We have houses older than 1912 in town.
True. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean that's jumping at it, regardless of the designs. I mean, I just think we're more than just the last 120 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good feedback.
If you put incorporated, I could see that, but yeah, you're right.
John, what do you think about changing established to settled, 16, whatever the date is?
Right.
Which is what's on the signs. I think.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
the signs, I think
Currently,
it says.
I agree with you. I think that
I
says it.
I would definitely go with settled.
What about putting New Jersey in there somewhere? Not the picture of New Jersey, but NJ or New Jersey, just because.
We,
Why? I'm thinking to myself if I've seen that in other towns, MJ. I guess it could be.
Like this one, you could put just above the established and then just above the 19.
See, I kind of look at it and just say, if there's one town in the country
Yeah.
that there's not another Peapack Gladstone.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's Gladstones, but not
Yeah.
Peapack Gladstone.
I agree with you,
Right.
John.
I mean, you Google Peapack, it
Yeah.
will only come to this
We're
town.
the only one, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not even a zip code anywhere else.
So just in terms of feedback, I think Meg did a wonderful job. I like these logos even better than the last ones.
so, I'm sorry, on the New Jersey thing, we're,
Yeah, don't.
okay, I'm sorry, Don, go ahead.
Yeah, so I like top left and bottom right the most, for, just my opinion, although any of them are acceptable.
That's
And I think,
irrelevant.
yeah, exactly. And I think changing established to settled, whatever the correct date is, would be the only change I would express. In terms of the taglines, they're both very good. I'm leaning a little toward the first rather than the second, but I think they're both exceptional.
We appreciate the feedback, and I'm making notes of what everyone's saying, but just so everyone's aware, we were not looking to buttonhole everybody tonight to
Understood.
give feedback. We want you all to take this and digest it.
Okay.
And think about it. And even if you send Amy and I your feedback before the next meeting, we can get some alternates to have then for consideration when we discuss this. But if you want to start discussing it tonight, that's fine as well.
Well, it's nice that we're here together. We can look at it together. It's helpful.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah,
to
the
this.
next slide shows how that tagline is used. These are examples of the Welcome to Town signs, basically. So that tagline would not have a use in every case. So, for example, the truck wouldn't have a tagline on it, but it would have the logo. So, so here are some other uses of those same images. It puts it into perspective when you see it on the signs.
And we still need to work with the designer to see what format sign fits best in all the locations where we need it, which is, of course, what drove this project. Our signs are all in very rough shape, and we need, I think it's 5 or 6 new ones.
It's interesting, I'm glad you included this as an example of deployment, because you can see how, at least in my mind, the logos reflect differently depending on how they're applied. I would have said on the last slide that the top left image is my favorite, but then if you scroll forward to the next slide, you see the bottom right on the sign there, it looks much better to my eye. And I couldn't tell you why. So
But then
I'm glad that you did this.
when you look at the truck, though, you see, I mean, that makes me wary of a design that's too busy because it
Correct.
gets lost.
Correct.
I mean, just a little nick and a scratch, and you could lose a big design element.
And I think, for example, on the truck, you could lose the outside border, and that would simplify that design, but still keep it the same as
Agreed.
what is in the color version. So, but those are tweaks, yeah, I agree with you.
So, go ahead.
No, you're not, please.
So here's our next step. So today we're reviewing these updated designs. Amy and I will immediately work on the resident feedback form. And then on July 20th, we would share the results of the feedback form with you prior to July 20th, discuss it on the 20th, and hopefully get a consensus on one of the logos so we can move forward with the necessary artwork by the artist to roll this out to our vehicles, all our vehicles, to our stationery, to our signage. Maybe an idea that hit me the other day driving through another town, maybe in order to launch the new logo, we throw up a couple telephone pole banners in the center of town with the logo on it also.
How about the banner across the street?
Yeah,
That's a thought.
I think that's nice.
You want people to see it.
And that's
Right.
a thought.
Welcome to Peapack Gladstone, yeah.
Do we have a budget for this? 'Cause it's gonna be expensive.
Special projects, we included in special projects. The signs are not gonna be cheap. But I have to tell you, I did a polycarbonate sign, multicolor, for a property I manage, and I was absolutely floored that it was far less expensive than I ever anticipated. It's still expensive, but it wasn't $5,000, it was $1,000, you know.
Polycarbonate sounds expensive.
I know. It's carved out of it and then painted.
Greg and I can take care of it, we did the room here, so we've got experience.
Where was
Randy, get
Curly?
your paintbrushes. So that's what we have for you. Everyone got this presentation.
Good,
And
that's great.
we're welcome to take feedback prior, and we might have Meg execute like the settle change. Sounds like a very good one. If there's anything else, and we would like to, get this done and get hopefully some signage in town by end of summer, early fall.
The pond actually looks clean there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it looks a little ocean-like.
Looks like a river.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Well, that way, that's feedback. If you think
Yeah.
it looks like a river, we need to know that so we
Yeah.
can give it back to her
Yeah.
and have her make it look more like a pond. That's valuable.
Right. It's a little
If you
too
think
blue.
that-
Oh, there are waves.
Yeah, oh, I
Or-
can't even
Doesn't
see.
look
Oh,
like a
yeah,
pond.
there are waves, I can't see that.
I think that this whole PowerPoint is a little skewed on coloring.
Yeah.
The green of the banner and on the slide is a lot more bright than what we see here, so I don't know if these colors are coming through as they should.
Okay.
They might be brighter, but that's something we'll take back.
Okay. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other old business? Thank you.
Better job than you got.
What?
That's a much more
I know.
pleasant
Can I have
job
that
than you
job?
got.
You got that right.
Any other old business? Hearing none, moving on to new business. Any new business? Hearing none, moving on to miscellaneous discussions and approvals.
You know, I wanted to bring up in a previous meeting the thought of, and this is very miscellaneous, the Sarah K property that's down there. Is there a way, I've been discussing with Beth Davison quite a bit about our open space policies, our Rossi list and so forth, that we could get that Sarah K property on our Rossi list?
Yes. Very simple. We put it on,
Yeah.
but that means we lock it up.
There's
Yeah.
there always had been some talk about making it a pocket park.
Right.
Yeah, but there-
I mean, it's only 0.8 acres, so it's the chances of it being used for anything functional. I mean, the only other option, well, whatever.
Well, if we
I'm
put it
not
on the
bringing it up.
Rossi, we're not, we can take it off the Rossi.
I'm not
can't
quite
we?
sure. I think there's a problem with
Are,
that.
we're not encumbering it.
I'm trying to remember. I remember this discussion when Anthony Siriano was
That's
council
right.
president, and there was a decision at the time, do not put it on the Rossi list, but I don't recall the reason why. And
Well,
that
I-
reason
That's
may
what
have
I remember.
There was
expired.
this, at that point, I was on the environmental commission, and we wanted to do a park there, like a garden. And Anthony was on council at that time, and I remember getting feedback that he wanted to keep it, if we labeled it as a park, there'd be issues with, I believe, COA and some other things.
Yeah, it was COA-related.
It- And, right, but I guess I never quite understood it, and please, educate me if I'm not understanding, but it's not even an acre, and I thought COA I'm sure can fight this, but I thought if it's under an acre property, they don't really keep it on their on their list of available properties anyhow.
I don't think that was a COA issue. The COA issue with the Sarah K law
Was that we might need it.
was that we might need it to
Right.
put some COA on.
Yeah.
I think
If-
we would need to check with John Sabo.
No,
Yeah.
that's,
No,
I mean,
no, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I think we would need to check with him in terms of any other implications for COA. Because if there, I know that was the same thing Anthony had mentioned.
That's right.
yeah, we purposely kept it off in case we needed it as a parcel to throw an obligation on.
But I'd actually like to be, have it clarified though, that if it goes on the Rossi, that
Can it come
up?
that it's the equivalent of Green Acres encumbering it.
Well, that's what I guess, I don't understand that train of thought because in my mind, let's
Yeah, the ball field over there-
preserve
the
as
ball
much
field over there
property
is
as we
on-
can,
is
so
on
it's
a
not
Rossi.
available.
Well, I was always under the impression, I never researched it myself, but from Anthony Soriano, he said, once you put a property on your Rossi as a park, it's a park. And it's very difficult to get it
Do we have
back
somebody that can research
to
that?
something else.
Yeah, I mean, that's my recollection also, Council President, but we could ask Beth that question.
No.
I'm happy to reach out to Beth for that question.
Yeah.
I guess I just want to say,
I was always under the impression, once it's on the Rossi, it's on.
and
Yeah.
that was my impression as well, but I guess I'm also like, well, what's wrong with that?
So can
But-
Right, sure.
can I give you a thought about Sarah Kay? I am very open to what you're suggesting about locking up Sarah Kay as a pocket park. But I think we have an opportunity that we should consider before we do that. And that is not to lock up the entirety of Sarah
And
Kay.
to sell off a quarter acre.
To subdivide it in fee simple subdivision into 2 lots, sell one off as a building lot, and then make the remainder of it a parking.
And I had that conversation with Roy before he left council, because we talked about it. And I think that is an option, sell off a quarter acre, have a half an acre park and sell off a quarter or a third, whatever's left, of, for a single building lot next to, the one house, as a way to, to get a little income from the town. And I would be fine with that too. I think that would fit just fine there, but I
I'm
just,
simply looking for the town to recover its investment in that property.
280,000,
Yeah.
that's not a whole lot to recover.
And when we sell off.
You'd recover that easily.
I know.
We have parameters when we sell off.
what is that?
Well, I think we have to first offer to the adjoining properties, and then after that.
The Women's
we-
Club.
Yeah, to put it to auction,
There might-
essentially.
there might be-
Which we did once with that house that was used to be on the guiding
We-
light or whatever. I forget what the name of that house.
We need to
Common
check,
house.
we need to check the deed restriction on it from the Women's Club too.
Right. I mean, I just don't know how much money that would really make the town. Is it worth it? Or just to preserve it, or not
I don't
preserve
know
it, but
if
make
it
it a
is,
park?
because I mean, if we sell off a parcel of land and someone's gonna build a house on it,
Mhm.
and
Oh, for sure.
it could be a very, I don't know what type of house it would be, right? So, I don't know, it's changing the view of that area by
Mhm.
adding a house, when we want it to be a park.
It is. I mean, I guess it just depends on,
There
I
was
mean,
a-
me, I want everything preserved in open
Right.
space, but, if people feel like it's a moneymaker for the town or something good for the town financially, is maybe a better way to put it. But I just don't know if it's worth that much money.
It was. But it was a house.
Yeah.
I'll email Beth about Rossi, but just something to consider. Thank you.
So where are we gonna go? Let's pursue it.
We're gonna find out first about Rossi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else under miscellaneous? Moving on to reading and approval of minutes, a regular meeting of June 15th, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes?
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Thank you. Executive meeting on June 15th, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve the executive meeting minutes of June 15th?
So moved.
And a second, please.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Hey, resolutions. I should be able to get through these. Resolution 134-21, resolution for grant agreement between the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone Public in the State of New Jersey by and for the Department of Environmental Protection Grant Identifier AQ21-095 for the purchase, installation, and maintenance of one Level 2 charge point dual port charging stations. I'm only saying that once. I have a motion to approve Resolution 13421.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Deidre?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Resolution 13521, authorizing Borough Police Department to participate in Somerset County distracted driving enforcement mobilization July 1 through July 31st, 2021. I have a motion to approve Resolution 13521.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Deidre?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Resolution 13621, resolution providing for the insertion of a special item of revenue in the 2021 budget for the distracted driving enforcement grant, July 2021, pursuant to NJSA 40:4-87, Chapter 159, PL 1948. A motion to approve Resolution 13621.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Deidre?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Resolution 13721, resolution authorizing the execution of trails agreement with Pharmacy and Upjohn's Company LLC, owner of certain property being designated as Block 20, lots 9.01 and 10 for the use of a walking trail. I have a motion to approve Resolution 13721.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Oh.
Before we do that, may I just ask a question? Has anything come up as different from the last agreement?
From the last agreement, well, we eliminated some things that were no longer applicable, like the use of their tennis courts.
Okay.
It really is, it's tightened up a lot more than it used to be. Also, they had proposed some additional language that would have, that was not agreeable to our JIF through our risk manager. And they continued to press that issue, and I spoke at length with the attorney representing Pfizer, and she agreed to remove that language. So I would recommend this agreement. It still provides obviously the same basic uses. We're responsible to maintain the trail in terms of trimming.
But not the tennis court?
No, not tennis court, that's not.
Not their
All
tennis.
reference
Thank
to
you.
tennis court or electric things and all that's all been removed.
Right. Okay.
Great.
Just a question on the language of the resolution. In the title we use, we call it Pharmacy and Upjohn's. In the agreement, it's Pharmacy and Upjohn, singular. And then we get down to the now therefore, it's between Pfizer and the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone.
It's, throughout the time.
I'm not sure which drugs I'm taking.
Yeah. They go by all of the above. We have
They're still on the-
historically called it the Pfizer.
But they're still on the tax rolls of Pharmacy and Upjohn, right? I think.
They are.
It's all really referencing the same.
Yeah, I just think it would, just for the purpose of the resolution, be consistent.
Modify it. So we could modify that in the resolution.
How do we handle that?
It's just a typo to correct before we publish it.
Okay.
And, really, it's not, if we wanted to make a motion to adopt as amended.
Yeah, changing, in the now therefore paragraph, changing Pfizer to Pharmacy and Upjohn. So it's consistent with the what the
Think so.
agreement is.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we want to make those.
So there's.
Yeah, just that technical correction.
Okay.
And removing the S in Upjohn's as well.
Yeah, I go for that too.
I'll second.
Thank you. Sorry, GP, I beat you to that one.
Thank you, John. So, just do a roll call vote?
Yes.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Deidre?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 13821, resolution authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement to the borough's recreation open space inventory.
Mayor, if I
Sir.
can we table this until the next meeting?
Sure.
With some discussion tonight and that we had, and we want to review some of the other items on Rossi, and
Okay.
there are some items that I think need to be added.
Okay, we'll table 138.
Table that to the next meeting.
Got it. Resolution 13921, resolution for renewal of plenary retail consumption liquor license for the period of July 1, 2021 to June 30, 2022 for HEG Beverage LLC. Which business is that?
That's the
That-
Red Horse.
That's the
Oh,
Red Horse.
oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
Rob Francis.
Motion to approve resolution 13921.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman
Question.
Oh.
Well, I have a
Go
question on
ahead.
this one too. Attorney Bruder, are there any reasons why we would have a pause on this because they're under application with the land use board? And also the fact that what's come up through that is that this is not just an alcohol consumption facility, but the retail of cars. So that whole topic is still, I think, active within land use.
Yeah, that's a separate consideration, whether the land use board approves of their intended purposes or use.
Mhm.
Whereas this is, they need to periodically renew the liquor license itself. The purposes to which they can put it are going to be subject to review by the land use board, but they are required to renew this license periodically through the municipality, but in accordance with ABC regulations.
Okay.
So it's kind of two different tracks running at the same
This
time.
is still technically a pocket license.
If we don't renew it, it becomes a pocket license at that time?
Yes, yes.
And what is a pocket license?
It is a pocket license.
It's already a pocket license, but it's,
No, this is not a pocket license.
What's
This
a
is not
pocket, can you
pocket
clarify
license?
what's a pocket
This is
license?
not, since
it's one
it
that's
was
not
before
active.
a
They're-
pocket
they're
license.
not.
Yeah.
But
We're
this
not
will not
selling
become a
out.
pocket
Okay, so
license
you pay
until
a
they
fee or
don't use
something
it
if
for
it's
2
just
years.
sitting?
No, there's a
So
clock that
upon
runs.
transfer,
You
the
lose
pocket
license.
license
That was 2
designation
years.
goes away?
So if you
Yes.
don't use it for 2 years,
So this is an
you lose
active
it?
license?
This is an active license, and if it's not used within 2 years, then it becomes a pocket
Correct.
license.
Oh,
Okay,
I
so
see.
it's okay, so it was a pocket license up until the
So don't
transfer
renew
a
it
few
and
months
you might
ago?
get
Yes.
screened.
Then it became an
Yeah,
active
you might lose
license
that
and it goes
anyway.
pocket again in 2 years.
So the clock starts again once the transfer.
Yes.
I think there was some discussion and some confusion about this, that approval of the license, this license could be misconstrued as approval of the use variance that's before the land use board, which is in no way the case.
To be clear, two different issues altogether.
But we had already approved the transfer to
Yes.
them at an earlier meeting.
Correct.
And the license has just expired under its own
Right.
own
Right.
weight, so now we're just,
Right.
we're renewing what we already approved.
Because conceivably, if their proposal doesn't go through, they could say, well, we have another project we want to use a license for, and then, which
Or
could get
They could
approved,
go
so,
get to some
Or they sell it to
package
somebody
store.
else.
right.
Or
Right.
sell it
So-
to somebody else,
So-
right.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Okay, bills list, resolution 140-21, approval of bills is signed and listed on the bill payment list. Can you please read the amount?
$184,093.13.
Does anybody have any items that need to be pulled for discussion? Motion to approve resolution 140-21.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Caminiti?
Yes.
Council President Corigliano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Moving on to council reports, finance,
No report, Mayor.
sanitation and sewer.
No report, but Randy, a quick question regarding the outstanding billing to the borough from Bedminster for 2020. Have we received that money yet?
From Bedminster, yes.
We have, okay, thank you.
Borough property.
Yeah, a couple of small items. Randy, if you will, could you update the council and the public also on the status of Liberty Park and whether we've heard anything back from the second bidder's attorney regarding
My
the bid
list, thank
approval?
I'm just gonna give you the update on Liberty Park. How's that
Liberty
sound?
Park and no legal, yeah.
The Liberty Park, the contractor just sent back today, which will be going to Mr. Bruder for review, all the paperwork that needed to be signed by them. So once the once council reviews it, gives his okay to it, we'll then move forward in setting up a pre-construction meeting. That will involve the landscape architects, the contractor. We don't have any utilities involved because I think GCP&L already, did they already do their portion?
They did not do their work yet.
Okay,
That's-
so we may have JCP&L there, and staff to go over, basically the project, the timeline, and so forth. You know, in case anybody's wondering, we are aware of plantings in the middle of July or August. So, you know, we are aware of that, so is the contractor. So, you know, it's looking, unfortunately, like it's not on the original time schedule we had planned, but could be delayed about a month from when we originally thought we'd be breaking ground, which may not be the worst thing, because that will be probably better at the end of the project for planting weather.
Correct.
And as far as the other, you know, that's, we have no
That's Mr.
news.
Bruder's,
I have I have a question, actually two questions on that. Is there a, forget when we start, but is there do we have an idea how long the construction would take?
That was in the project.
They have to complete it within 90 days.
Okay, because I know we have the fire department car show and Art in the Park in September, right?
Art in the Park has already been rescheduled to the back field here.
Okay, and I know it's up in the air for the fire, like,
And Community Day is gonna be in September as well, and that will be out here.
okay, okay,
Nothing further.
thank you. Fire first aid, that's it for property. Okay.
Thank you, Greg.
Fire first aid.
No updates.
Police,
No update today.
roads and transportation.
Nothing to report.
Zoning and construction, I have nothing. Legal,
No reports?
administrators report.
You know, the first time I have something. Two quick things. The ECUs, I'm working with the state police and the New Jersey surplus that works with OEM, Sergeant Zeke. We believe we found a home for them, although we had to send pictures and see if they were in running condition. They are in running condition, so that's good news. I tried to send pictures today, but their email wouldn't accept it, so, but with hoping the stars match, they'll be out of here within 2 weeks. So the place is in New Jersey, just happened to be a little further ride than what we thought, but so there is somebody interested in South Jersey that is very interested in them, so we could get them out of there. The only other update I have is the bridge on 202. And believe it or not, we're already discussing a lot of things going on with that bridge. The main thing is the detour that they had set up, going basically up through 287 and around Burnsville area. The other option was coming up 206 and turning down Holland. Due to my comments and the chief's comments, which we were both on the same page at different times, we explained to him that that would be quite disastrous for any kind of trucks to make those turns and so
Especially the
forth.
turn
Holland Avenue would take it off.
Right.
Having worked that intersection on crashes, yes.
Exactly. So Holland Avenue has been taken off the approved detour list. So basically, I think it's going to be a long 287 detour, and that would be the only official detour. Now, of course, are we going to get some people?
Please, we'll give a detour.
We will, and
GPS is pretty good these days.
you know, so we'll I guess we'll see what happens.
And when is that project supposed to be and how long will it take?
It's not gonna take place till, I believe it's like the fall of 2022, and it's like a 2-year project.
That's a bridge by the squad building, just over the line of Bedminster, or separates Bedminster and Far Hills.
Yeah, right by the park there.
Wow.
So it's
2
gonna be,
years.
It's gonna be a long, now, you know, if you're
Bridges
familiar with
take a long time.
They
familiar
built
with
the Empire State
78.
Building in 18 months.
So Randy's gonna tractor trailers on Lake Drive?
They didn't have OSHA.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure somebody will get
See
stuff
those
on Lake.
riveters up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had the detour for the accident, and you know, we had
What's the
tractor
max?
trailers coming down Holland and around, and that was quite disastrous. So, can you imagine them making a right turn there at the end of Holland instead of a left? So,
That's the bridge right by the fairgrounds we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Looked at,
Over the branch of the Raritan, that one?
Yeah. Make the right at the light and go
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
bridge.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's gonna generate a lot of right turns on the Peapack Road from people coming down 202 that
Yeah.
didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
but that's the updates. At least we got it off the official detour list,
Right.
so.
I feel bad people on the old.
That
bridge.
that was the chief's and my goal to
Yeah,
say,
'cause
no,
they'll
this is a
explore.
bad
Yeah.
idea, and the state
That's where they're
DOT agreed.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I have nothing for my
I'm
mayor.
sorry, one other thing.
Oh,
One other thing.
Well, who's
I meant to
reading
give
this
this, I meant to give this to the mayor to read. Last week, we were on a county-wide call, as we are now every 2 weeks, for COVID updates and so forth. And the state, Somerset County Health Department wants to concentrate on those towns under 70% of adults vaccinated, especially towns in the 50s. We are 55% of adults vaccinated. So we really need to try and push vaccinations. So here's a thing that we got today at 12 o'clock, and I think it's on our website, but I want to mention it. Wednesday, tomorrow, June 30th, 3 to 5 p.m., Bernard's Township Community Center, 289 Maple Avenue, Basket Ridge. No appointments necessary. Get your J&J single dose vaccination. So anybody out there that's not vaccinated, employees that may not be vaccinated can go and get the 1 dose vaccination.
that's through Berners Township Health Department?
That's through Bernard's Township Health Department.
Okay.
Which is our health department.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But I
They've
mean,
had a
it's-
couple
yes.
free clinics.
It's not-
They've had a bunch of free clinics.
it's not the county.
No.
It's not the county, but the county's wants to try and get those towns that are lower.
Right.
There's 2 towns, we're at 55 and Manville is at 55. Was it Manville?
It was Manville and us that were at 55.
Yeah, they
There's
did a
one at
clinic in Manville
56.
today.
There's one at 56, 57, and then it jumps up to like the mid-60s.
so to everyone listening to our stream, please go get
Yeah,
vaccinated.
please get vaccinated. Check with your healthcare provider, but please get vaccinated if they say yes.
Mayor, one other item, because OEM's not separate, our OEM received an appreciation certificate from Somerset County for their work, so I wanted to
Yeah.
just recognize them in the meeting.
Thank you.
No,
Anything
I'm
else?
done. Nope,
You should-
done.
I don't have
Can
anything
we
for.
move on, Randy?
We can move on.
I don't have anything for the mayor's report. Public comments, 3 minutes per person for agenda items only. It's the policy of the Borough Council that all public comments on an issue shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. No debating between residents. Comments should be addressed to the mayor and council at the microphone. Any public comments on agenda items? Anything? No? Okay. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment. Moving to adjournment.
Before we adjourn, because I wanted this separate because it's such special news, I didn't want it to fall under administrator's report or anything.
Is there any further business?
Brad Fagan, our assistant foreman or foreman for DPW, has passed his certified public works manager certificate through the state of New Jersey.
Awesome.
Nice
So
work, Brad.
Great.
It's
Great.
That's awesome.
It's been tough. He's been took it on and he passed it his
I bet he's listening right now.
and wanted to pass that on and congratulate Brad on a job well done.
Yeah. DPW's done a couple great projects lately. The town is looking really good. They redid the parking lot on Church to go into Rockabye Meadow. That looks great. The parking at
Conlon,
Conlon looks
yeah.
really good.
Looks good.
They've been doing a great job.
And they've improved
Amy's
the
car looked
area
great.
down at Public Works.
I didn't get my dog in there.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
And they improved the area down at Public Works, put up a split rail fence, cleaned up.
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
It's looking
Does
good.
look
Yeah,
good.
Dan and Brad are doing a
And
great job.
also, just a shout out to you and everyone who was involved with this.
Yeah.
So thank you for.
Great job, thank you.
Freshening things up in our absence. It helps us get a clean start post-COVID, so.
It's nice work on the stream, Nancy.
Yep.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yep, really.
Well done.
Good work.
That was all Nancy, so.
Well done. You worked great.
Thanks.
You destroyed the 70s look.
Well,
That's
80s, it was done in the
70s,
80s, so 81, 82. All right, any other further business? Seeing,
Figures our town took on the 70s look in the 80s.
Yeah.
seeing none, motion to adjourn
So moved.
and a second.
Wait. we didn't recognize Nancy Moyo being here.
Oh.
Hey, Nancy.
Oh,
Okay, now we can adjourn.
Okay.
Sorry.
Trying to
You
stay
sure?
quiet and get to the regular.
Ronan.
Sorry.
Do I have a second to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, meeting's adjourned. Next meeting of the mayor and council will be held on Tuesday, July 20th this year at 7 PM at